friendship and strong social energy is really the backbone, in a way, of the program. And really, so my speech goes out to you. One thing about being at work all the time is that we become a family, and I see a lot of you more than my own family. Second, I'd like to thank our clinical and administrative faculty who have worked so hard to shape this for us, this bridge between education and career. I think I speak for all of us when I say that at some point in the 3 years towards the latter part, things just click and suddenly you become much more comfortable knowing how to care for sick children. So Dr. B, Dr. Palumbo, Dr. Katz, I'm not sure what you did to us over these 3 years, but it worked. Thanks also to Kathy, Stephanie, the chief residents, and all those who supported our transformation. Have we achieved the goals general pediatric residency set out for us? The milestones are here, but let's face it, we grew up under the core competencies. Let's take a look to see if we've achieved them. Competency number 1, professionalism. At this point, if you're running late, you know you're just preventing your friend from going home on time. Competency 2, interpersonal skills and communication. Even if you're not a people person, by now you've learned how to fake it. Competency 3, system-based practice. Actions that demonstrate an awareness of and responsiveness to the larger context of healthcare. Just page social work. Oh yeah, and case management. What's the difference again? Competency 4, patient care. By now you've met lots of families going through the most incredible, nightmarish hardships you can imagine. Even if you're not that interested in their disease process, to care for them comes naturally. Competency 5, practice-based learning and improvement. After 3 years of residency, something must have struck you as interesting. If not, and you're this far in, you're probably in trouble. Competency 6, medical knowledge. All I can say is the boards are coming. The reality is that we are very lucky to be doctors, to come to work every day and love what we do, to help people. There's no other way to approach this profession than through passion. As we all know, it can be very, very difficult and very, very frustrating. This is what you get when you put goal-oriented perfectionists running on very little sleep into an intellectually, physically, and emotionally demanding situation. In addition to multitasking, patient bounce-backs, non-compliance, treatment failures, demanding parents, one very clear image of frustration that always sticks in my mind is putting an IV in a screaming child in the middle of the night, sweaty hands, bleary-eyed, anxious parents. This, of course, still pales in comparison to the frustration experienced from successful use of Exit Writer. Any way you look at it, we have chosen a very difficult path. How do I get through? A guy who failed out of freshman chemistry and for a while lived on a beach in Mexico? A solid dose of passion and a great personal life. 2 kids in residency and a 3rd on the way leaves me little time for any emails except those from Dr. Spinazzola about moonlighting opportunities. And that's just because I need the money. As an added bonus, I can do practice board questions while one toddler drives trucks across my back and the other dumps out her sippy cup full of water. But I've also derived a great deal of energy from all of you. Lots of fun memories to look back on. My first elective of residency, pulmonology, with Gerardo and Eric, hanging out in the break room, eating chips and free lunches. Chips. Trivia night at Strawberries with the guys intern year. The ER during Hurricane Irene, eating ice cream and watching Animal House on the projection screen since we had no patience. The time when Liz Bertman accidentally ordered a swallow study on a healthy, mild asthmatic teenage patient. And the therapist came into the resident room and said, "This kid swallows fine." Med 2 night float with the guys, Scott Snortland, Gonzalo, Salil. The time on adolescent unit when a child was admitted for terrifying hallucinations of spiders, and next door a patient was admitted for treatment of a spider bite. And of course, the pinnacle of my residency career, the time when Miss United States and Miss New York City came to cheer up the sick children, and it happened to be my day on Child Life. Who could overlook our greatest source of inspiration, our patients? The countless patient stories, dramatic, humorous, tragic, inspiring. People always ask me for patient stories. Tell us about your coolest, most interesting, craziest patient. And I always have difficulty thinking of specific cases because, for me, the whole thing is crazy. Residency is crazy. The intensity, the exhaustion, the front row seat, the wide open window right into someone's bleeding, vulnerable, gritty life. As Lily Maroof says, you can't make this stuff up. So for me, it's the contrast that's important. The fact that most every evening I get into my car, put the windows down, and blast the Rolling Stones while driving home looking out on the Long Island Sound. I join my wife for a nice fresh dinner. In the morning I wake up in my comfortable bed, kiss my family, and sit on the balcony for a nice cup of coffee. I get back to the hospital and nothing has changed. The same sick child, the same airless room, the same exhausted, concerned parents. No fresh food, no Rolling Stones. The main lesson this most intense experience we call residency has taught me is how lucky we are. Health is such a blessing and nothing else really matters. Can I really seek pity for having to sit in traffic on the Cross Island Expressway? It really is all relative. I now believe that every moment we have health is beautiful. Our challenge is to live each day to the fullest. As my father says, you can never get this day back. We all got here by being goal-oriented, but we must not forget to enjoy each day as it comes. To pick up our heads, smile, and talk to those around us. To slow down. It really is about the journey, remember? In the continually branching path of life and of medicine, where subspecialties now have subspecialties, it's easy to get distracted by that ever-present next road, the next exam, the next fellowship, the next job. I urge you to take time to listen to yourself, to feel as much as you think, and find the path that was meant for you. Congratulations, guys, we've done it.